The night was heavy, the kind of dark that presses against your chest and makes every sound sharper. I'd gone to bed uneasy, the hum of the orchard pumps a faint comfort through the cabin walls. But something woke me a prickle at the back of my neck, like the air itself was holding its breath. It was 4:17 a.m. when I caught the smell, sharp and wrong, slicing through the familiar sweetness of apple blossoms and pine. Smoke. Not the cozy kind from a fireplace, but something chemical, acrid, like burning wires and betrayal. I threw on my boots, not even bothering with a jacket, and sprinted downhill toward the orchard, my flashlight cutting jagged beams through the fog. The Tennessee night was alive with menace crickets silent, wind hissing through the trees. My heart pounded, a drumbeat of dread, as the smell grew stronger. I reached row 10, and there it was, the irrigation pump, my lifeline to those trees, smoldering like a wound. Faint orange sparks flickered at its base, and curls of gray smoke leaked from the seams, twisting into the moonlight like ghosts. I dropped to my knees, ripping open the pump's housing. The wires inside were a melted mess, blackened and fused, the stench of scorched metal choking me. The trees around trees, planted with my own hands, were already drooping, their leaves curling in silent agony as the soil beneath them turned to dust. This wasn't a failure. This wasn't an accident. This was war. I stumbled to the next pump, then the next, my flashlight shaking in my hand. 2 more were fried, their circuits reduced to charcoal. Another had a raga filthy, oil-soaked scrap jammed into its vent, suffocating the airflow. I tore it out, my hands trembling with rage, but the damage was done. Row 12 was silent, its pump dead, the saplings starving. I stood there, chest heaving, the beam of my light catching the glint of something unnatural in the dirt. A footprint, fresh and deliberate, pressed into the mud beside a scattering of leaves. My mind raced, piecing it together. The voltage dips I'd noticed, the clumsy splice I'd found on my power line. This was no random act. Someone had crept onto my land, under cover of night, and attacked the heart of Blackthorn Ridge. They'd sprayed accelerant, shorted circuits, and choked my pumps, all to break me, to force my hand. The orchard wasn't just trees. It was my life, my defiance, my proof that a man could build something pure in a world full of thieves. And they'd burned it. I pulled my phone and checked the security footage, my fingers clumsy with fury. The timestamp read 2:03 a.m. 3 figures, cloaked in dark hoodies, moved like specters along the property line. One carried a canister, its nozzle hissing as it sprayed something onto the pumps. Another wielded a pole, tampering with the wires overhead. The third knelt by row 10, stuffing that rag into the vent with surgical precision. They worked fast, their movements practiced, vanishing into the woods before the motion sensors could catch more than a fleeting glimpse. But I saw enough. I knew who sent them. Margaret Hensley. The Willow Creek HOA. They'd crossed a line no one comes back from. This wasn't just about power, Anna Marie, it was personal. I forwarded the footage to Rachel Harper, my attorney, and Sheriff Monroe, my voice shaking as I listed the charges: vandalism, trespassing, agricultural sabotage. Rachel's reply was immediate. "This is federal, Henry. They've endangered your livelihood. We're going for blood." As dawn broke, gray and unforgiving, I stood in the orchard, the smoldering pump at my feet, the trees whispering their pain. The rage in my gut was a living thing, but so was my resolve. They thought they could break me, burn my world, and walk away. They were wrong. Blackthorn Ridge was mine, and I'd fight to my last breath to protect it.